So hello, everybody. Welcome. And as Ira said, I'm Elizabeth Mix, and I am the Head of Student Affairs and Support Staff at University College Groningen. And I'm going to give you a little overview of the program today. So the first thing I want to talk about is, generally speaking, what you learn at UCG. So at UCG, we think about what we call our student learning outcomes. And outcomes are essentially a way of talking about the skills and dispositions that you receive when you're studying in a program. We think about our outcomes as real world roles. And that's what you're seeing on the screen here. And so we want you to think of yourself not just a person who's learning some stuff that you may or may not ever apply again. We, right from the beginning, want you to think of yourself as having a very specific role in society, and this will translate into your career in the future. So when you learn your skills, we want you to be thinking in terms of being an innovator, a communicator, an academic integrator, and that one's important for an interdisciplinary liberal arts and science program. That means that you're putting together different disciplines to solve complex problems that can't really effectively be solved with just one particular discipline. You also act as a researcher and as a collaborator. And this is a very unique way of looking at outcomes. And that is, again, the skills that you learn within a program. This is a brief view of what the program looks like. If we're taking a bird's eye view of your entire time in the program, you spend a good portion of your time called the academic core, and that's where you learn these skills and dispositions that translate then into a particular major and ultimately into your master's program or your career that you pursue after you graduate. So the academic core consists of skills classes in academic research and methodologies, and also communication skills, project management skills, all kinds of skills that you need to be successful. Then you move into a major, and that gives you a more specific disciplinary focus. We'll talk a little more about the different ways that you can conceive of a major or even a specialization at UCG. And then finally, you've got a certain additional number of credits that you can use in various ways, including pursuing a minor. We think of the minor in a couple of different ways at UCG. It can be a broadening experience for you, or it can be a deepening experience. And so there are ways to link your minor to your major to make you for certain master's programs, for instance. But you can also use those extra credits to do study abroad. And something that's new starting next year, we've got a very in-depth internship available, a 15-credit internship that takes place during an entire semester. And that is another way that you can make your experience very personalized at UCG. So when you graduate from UCG, you have the ability to go into a variety of different master's programs. You also have the ability to design your own career and go into careers that don't necessarily have a name yet. There are lots of those around, right? So if you think back a few years, there was no such thing as an app developer. And now we can't really imagine our lives without computer apps. And in the next 10 years, there will be other kinds of jobs that don't exist at this particular moment. We want you to have the flexibility to move in between different careers, pursue different masters, and also create your own career as you see fit. So this next slide, this shows a snapshot of what the first year looks like, and later in the week you'll learn more about the specifics of what happens in the first block, for instance. But this gives you a basic idea of what the first year looks like. You have your beginning academic skills and academic research skills. You have a 2-semester course called Academic Challenges. You'll learn more about that later in the week, but this is a unique interdisciplinary course that's taught by 6 instructors from different disciplines. You actually rotate from instructor to instructor as you learn about a particular large problem from a variety of disciplinary perspectives. You also get to take 2 core electives, and those are various courses that have been developed to give you a sense of interdisciplinary subjects, as well as a taste of different kinds of disciplines that you might pursue when you choose your major. So these are the core electives that I just mentioned. So culture, the building blocks, health and disease, media and technology, how things work, physics and technology, people, places, and culture in a global context, psychology, philosophy, and history of love, and the course war. Now last year, war was the most popular course, followed very closely by the love course. The love course, for instance, is one of these interdisciplinary courses that you have access to. It's taught by an instructor from the history program, an instructor from philosophy, and an instructor from psychology. And so in these courses, you learn about a particular theme from a variety of different disciplines. So this is an overview now of the different options that you've got when it's time to choose a major. And so one thing that's special about UCG is that you can explore the first year and not really declare what you're going to do in the future until the end of that first year. And then at that point, you've got different options. So we have everything here from what's called a free major, which means that you have the most freedom and personal control over what your major looks like. You also title that major yourself. And see that this has the most freedom. And you can combine courses from different parts of our curriculum. You can also combine courses from outside in the broader University of Groningen to create that free major. And on another level, you've got a major in either the sciences, the social sciences, or the humanities. Those then are more scripted for you. Focus on one particular discipline and you build out your major within that discipline. Or if you want something even more specific and specialized, you can choose what's called a specialization. And that is a little bit less freedom, but then in terms of looking at specific master's programs, that puts you in an even more targeted program for pursuit of a master. And again, you'll learn more about these later in the week. Yeah. So these here are some of all of the specializations that we offer at present. So within the humanities, there's just one specialization. That's because the humanities, by definition, is broad kind of pursuit. And so you take lots and lots of different kinds of courses within this broad specialization called culture and social change. In the sciences, you've got 2 sciences that are really aimed toward artificial intelligence. Those are smart technology, and smart technology is, I would say, the more technical side of artificial intelligence. If you're more interested in balancing the technical, the psychological side, and the ethical side of artificial intelligence, then you might pursue mind, machines, and morality. And then you have health and life sciences as another more medical kind of science focus. In social sciences, you'll notice that you've got 5 different specializations there. Mind and behavior is a psychology focus. Societies and cultures in transition is a sociology focus. Philosophy, politics, and economy, you can guess, is a philosophy focus. And then you've got international business focus that's combined with entrepreneurship, and international relations and international law as options in the social sciences. So again, these are more heavily scripted, or you could call them recipes, for a particular program that you can follow. And if you're interested in following just parts of these or combined parts of these, then you might look at that free major. So what makes us unique? You probably are aware that there are at least 11 of these liberal arts and sciences programs in the Netherlands. These are the things that make us in Groningen unique. The first is that we have projects in every single year. So they're highly scripted for you at the beginning. By the end, by your 3rd year, you're really acting in that role of project manager, and that's a skill that you can put right onto your resume. The other UC programs have some project work, but not threaded throughout the program as we do. The second thing that makes us different is this real world experience. Those are those skills embedded in the roles that I described earlier. We are the only program that allows you to really explore in the first year. So this is the reason why we ask for a math score, for instance, when not all other programs do that. Other programs ask you to decide a basic focus, maybe even declare your major before you start. We think it's really important that you explore during that first year and consider all your options. And that's a unique feature of our program. We are the only university college that has the Entrepreneurship Center for the university embedded in our faculty. Now, that means that you've got options that you can pursue. If you're not particularly interested in entrepreneurship, no big deal. You don't have to take advantage of those. But if you are interested in combining entrepreneurship, study at a venture lab, having the ability to network within the entrepreneurship community, this is an important feature. And our Entrepreneurship Center is focused on something called social entrepreneurship. It is the same model that Tony's Chocolonely uses, for instance. If you're interested in pursuing that kind of thing, then of course you've got that option at UCG. And we are the only one that has this thing called a free major that actually allows you to name your own major and design it in that you see fit. So that doesn't mean you cram together a bunch of random classes. You get very careful guidance on how to put together a program that makes sense and makes you competitive after you graduate. So I mentioned the Entrepreneurship Center. They have a social entrepreneurship track, which is a portion of the university minor for students from UCG. Again, you don't have to take this track, but if you do decide to take it, then again, it's a way that you can make your experience unique from other students focusing on study at other university colleges. Social entrepreneurship means that you focus on the betterment of society, not just making money. Of course, you have to be fiscally viable, but social entrepreneurship means that you care about your employees, for instance. In the case of Tony's Chocolonely, they became the first fiscally viable slave-free chocolate in the Netherlands, and it's got the market share in the Netherlands now, and other people are realizing that they can follow this kind of social responsibility and still be a viable product. I mentioned Tony's Chocolonely because one of the 4 guys who started it is now employed by the Entrepreneurship Center. So that is the kind of people that you will work with if you decide to work at the Entrepreneurship Center as part of your program at UCG. Here's an example of how a specialization works. And so we have many of these specializations. So this is, we just chose at random to kind of show you how it works over 4 years. This happens to be the International Business and Entrepreneurship specialization within the social sciences. And you'll see that you move through 100 level courses that are quite general, and you've got electives that you can choose to more specific courses, global corporate strategy and principles of entrepreneurship. Keeping in mind, there are lots of different courses when you pursue a specialization. We're giving you just a snapshot of some of the courses that you would take. Then you move into a 300 level and you'll do a capstone. And you'll also have an individual bachelor's thesis that you pursue. And then you've got this option, as I mentioned, of building out portions of your program at the Entrepreneurship Center if you're interested in doing that. So we've got more information on all of the specializations on the website if you're interested in seeing how the other specializations play out over the 3 years. So if this sounds like you're interested in changing course for the better, you want something better for yourself and also better for society, you want to be able to make intelligent choices in the face of one of the things we're all dealing with right now, right? So you are a person who wants to embrace that kind of thing and make things better for other people. You are interested in learning how to be adaptive and resilient. Not all of us have these skills, but they can be learned. And being able to leverage that resiliency and adaptability to be able to make career changes throughout your lifetime. If you are inquisitive, you're ambitious, you're collaborative, meaning you want to work with other people because project work is a big feature of our program, especially working with people across different cultures. Really important to be interested in that. If you're creative and you're interested in entrepreneurial thinking, at least, meaning that you're able to recognize opportunities for yourself, right? If that sounds like you, this could be the right program for you. So I'm going to turn it over now to Marika, and she'll tell you a little more about the rest of the week, and also then give you some admissions information. Thanks everybody for listening.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Welcome. Hi again. My name is Marika, and I'm the admissions officer at University College Groningen. Our admission requirements, well, first we ask a Dutch VWO diploma or an international equivalent of it. And in this list, you can see some of the international equivalents to a Dutch VWO diploma. You also see that we have a GPA requirement, so we generally prefer an average grade of a 7 or higher. So we generally prefer means that it's not very black and white, so if you're really close to it, we also really encourage you to apply for a program. We also have English language proficiency requirements. So next to looking at your GPA, English is a really important indicator for us as well. Since we are a fully English taught program, it's really important that your English language proficiency is up to certain standards so you can really participate well in our program. So Dutch students who have a 7 or higher on their English, they don't need to hand in any additional tests. The same goes for the list that you see underneath it. But if you do not meet these exemptions, then you can hand in an IELTS test or a TOEFL, one of these tests that you can see here. Mathematics is also important. We look at having passed mathematics as a final year course. So the only grade requirement here is that you have a passing grade on mathematics, which in the Netherlands is a 5.5 or higher. We accept every level of mathematics. So next to looking at your grades in mathematics, English, and your overall GPA, we also take into account your personal statement. Your personal statement is also intended as a way to compensate for any shortcomings that you have. So for example, if you do not meet our entry requirements, please let us know why, and we'll take that into account. So we're a selective program, so we look at the entire student profile. So we don't only look at your grades, but also who you are as a person. It could be the case that after you apply that we invite you for an interview, or it could be the case that you meet everything straight away and then you could receive an offer to study with us next year. So the application procedure is pretty straightforward. First, it's good to see if you meet our entry requirements, of course, or whether you're really close to our entry requirements. Then you go to StudyLink. You can see the link on the slide. Every application for every Dutch higher education institution starts in StudyLink. So you can select our program there, and then we'll send you a welcome email on how to complete the rest of your application in OWASP, which is our own online application system. We'll send you a couple of guidelines on how to finish it as soon as possible. So we'll send you a list of everything that we need, for example, transcripts of a copy of your diploma. You'll receive information on that as soon as you apply. So good to know. The deadline was extended by a month due to the corona crisis. So the deadline is 1 June. The deadline for handing in English test results is 20 August. So if you need to do a test still, you have some time to do that. We have 150 places available every academic year. And we work on a first come, first served basis. So that means that students who apply early always have a better opportunity to grab any of these places. We review applications on a rolling basis. That means if you apply now, you could receive an offer already in 2 to 3 weeks. So that goes really fast. So we don't have these set moments per year where we'll let you know if you're accepted. We do it throughout the entire year. It's also good to know that in StudyLink you can apply up to 4 programs. Sometimes students have, they apply for more than one program. So it's always good to know that you can apply up to 4 programs in StudyLink. What's also good to know is that you don't need to graduate before applying. We can already review your application based on the grades you obtained thus far, and we could give you an offer based on those grades already. And the University of Groningen will help you with arranging a visa. It's still good to apply really soon so they have time to do it, but they really help you with it, they'll arrange it for you. All right, well, that was the end of the admission part of the presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in this chat box. And then Elizabeth and we can come back into the session and answer those for you. Yeah, Iris already says this as well. Yeah, so please let us know if you have any questions. If you don't have any questions, I thank you very much for listening to us. I hope we created a good picture of what Liberal Arts and Sciences program is about. So Jasmine, is there an English test we have to take even if we are IB students? No, if you're an IB student, then probably your entire upper secondary education has been in English. So if you have been taught and assessed in English, then you already meet our English language requirements. Hiram, you mentioned SAT subjects tests. Is there a limit as to which one students can take? Well, the SATs, this is something new this year as well. You can now apply using your SAT test results. So that's really good news for American students because we used to only accept the APs, but now you can also apply on the basis of SATs. So we asked for a combined score of 1300 and we asked for a mathematics score of 600. Is SAT needed even if you're taking the IB from Jasmine? No, so it's one of the other. An IB diploma will already grant you access to our program, so you don't need to take an SAT test alongside your IBs. Alicia, hi, when will the accommodations open? Hi, Alicia. Well, it was supposed to open already, but due to the corona crisis, our colleagues at the housing, they were really busy with working with our current UCG students. So it's been postponed for a little bit, but don't worry, I will send everyone an email as soon as it opens. So it's good to keep an eye on your inbox every now and then, but there's no way that you will miss it. So I'll announce it on time. So please, I thank you for your patience in the accommodation situation. Please sit tight for a little bit longer. Iram, I have not understood correctly then. Is the SAT general or 4 APs or SAT general plus 4 APs? No, it's one of the other. One or the other, I'm sorry. So it's either the SATs or the 4 APs. You don't need both. Aviva, is housing guaranteed for all years if you choose to stay in the student building? Yes. It's mandatory for the first year, but it's optional for the first, second, and third year. So you can choose to live in Frascati for the entire program if you wish to. I would like to take biology, Franka Schneider. I would like to take biology as a major. Can I do this by taking the free major style or the major in science? Elizabeth, perhaps you could answer Franka's question in writing since we don't hear you. At least I don't hear you. I'm not sure if you could tell her a bit more about how she could take biology as a major. Anai, hello, I'm a native English speaker. My mother language is English, but I did my IB in Spain. Do I need to still do the English exam? This depends. Was the IB taught and assessed fully in English? If yes, then you'll meet the English requirements. Yeah. But if your IB was taught in Spanish, then you would still need to take an additional test. Seda, I'm a Turkish student. I am taking 3 APs and IELTS. Is my GPA still important? That's. Are you taking this in Turkey, the APs? Let me quickly check. Yes, in Turkey. All right. 1 second. All right. Seda, I will have to get back to you on this. I'm not entirely sure. I'll write it down. I'll check out your email and I'll send you an email on this straight after the session. All right. All right. Let me see. Greta, is there the possibility to join online lectures from current courses? We are actually now working on this. Since the Student for a Day program was cancelled, there's no way for you to visit us in real life. So we are now working on the opportunity for you to join current sessions. So I will send you an email on this later on. I made a note of it. Adamavi Gunenli, when can we expect to hear about our applications if we have already applied? Usually within 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how busy the admissions office is at the point of application. But if you have a complete application, then it will not take any longer than 2 to 3 weeks. Jasmine, is there a foundation program? So a foundation program, I'm not extremely familiar with the exact contents of a foundation program, but I know that we don't have it or offer it because I know that it's some sort of start before the program. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't offer foundation programs. Adam, hello. Because of the corona crisis, I might not receive a math grade until the 20th of August. Do I have another option to complete my application? A math grade. Let me get back to you on this as well, Adam. We are more flexible right now due to the corona crisis. So some deadlines have been extended already. I do not have a straightforward answer for you right now. I would have to check with the central admissions department to see if these deadlines, till how many weeks these deadlines are extended with. I'll get back to you on this, Adam. I'm just writing it down. All right. Jasmine, is the 32 IB score enough to get into the science program? Yeah, so we asked for 32 IB points. That's one of our minimum entry requirements. So you meet that entry requirement. We don't have specific scores for the majors. So we have one set of entry requirements, and that's not depending on which major you're interested in. So it's all the same. Adam, thank you. I'm waiting for email. Yes, I'll work on it as soon as possible. All right, great. Well, I think we answered almost every question. If you have any more questions, you can always email us. You have our email address. And I'll send Seda, Greta, and Adam, I'll send you an email on your specific questions as soon as possible. So thank you for your patience, and you'll hear from me. All right, well, I think this is the end then of our session. I don't see any new questions coming in. So on behalf of Elizabeth, Iris, and myself, thank you very much for joining. I hope to really see you soon during any of the other sessions this week. Yeah, take care and hope to see you again.